In my last video, I showed how my 2-day cash grab game took an entire month to make. Well, turns out it wasn't grabbing any cash, like at all, none, zilch, nada, nije bilo ništa para, so naturally, I decided to pivot. In case you haven't seen my previous video, here's a quick recap. I've been working on my main game, Shroomshire Restoration, for over a year now. You can join my Discord to be up to date about it. 6 months ago, I even quit my job thinking Shroomshire was almost done, and well, it wasn't. And now I ran out of all my money, which isn't good when you want to live and stuff, which, as you can see, is one of my top 5 hobbies. So, I made a foolproof plan to get through this. Throw together a Brainrot game in 2 days, get some quick cash, and then go back to my main game. Easy, right? Except, if we go back to my list of top 5 hobbies, yeah, it failed. I ended up spending a lot more money on the ads than I got from the game. But at the same time, I can't even be mad about it. With an hobby, people either hate it and leave immediately, or they like it, beat it in half an hour, and still leave. There's no reason to stick around, no reason to come back tomorrow, and so no reason to spend money. I needed something that takes hours to complete, and ideally has some replayability. So, I made a new plan. Step 1, we needed a new game genre. I put in a lot of effort into that game, and it would be dumb to just throw it out. So what if instead we pivoted to a new game genre? And after a bit of thinking, I realized I could easily turn this into a collectathon. For those who don't know, an obby is just jumping through obstacles until you reach the end, but a collectathon is about finding and collecting things hidden throughout the game. All good collectathons out there have their own twist on the genre. Like, this one lets you morph into the Sonics that you find. This one just has a lot. It has over 500 collectibles. And then this one not only has lots of content, but it also has incredible polish and even some puzzles. So here's my idea. Find all Sahurs inside of Sahur. You're still doing the obby, but now there are dozens of hidden Sahurs scattered throughout each level. I really like the approach of letting your players morph into what they find, but what I didn't like about it in other games is that you morph into other characters, but you feel the exact same. And because Scope Creep and I are best friends, I decided that each Sahur will have their own ability. Like, this one can slap people, this one reveals hidden paths, and this one is just, like, really blue. But okay, now that we have the idea ready, now we actually need the systems to make this work. Most importantly, we needed an inventory system where we can see all of the Sahurs we found and then have the ability to morph into them. So I took the inventory logic from Shroomshire Restoration, and thanks to my amazing coding skills, I was able to easily reuse my inventory functionality. And there were definitely no bugs here, whatsoever. Now, I had to solve a major problem. I needed someone to model all these different Sahur variations, and since I'm completely broke, I couldn't just pay someone a few $100s up front. Oh no. I needed to find someone good, but also willing to work on a percentage. Finding someone reliable wasn't easy. I learned my lesson from past collaborations, so I made everyone do a test first. They had to model Sahur, import it into Roblox, rig it properly so that it can walk, and then just film yourself using it in-game. And boy am I glad I did this test. Because there were so many people that talked big, but then showed me these ugly, barely recognizable Sahur models. And then the worst was this one guy who literally filmed a YouTube video of someone playing a game with Sahur in it. Actually, to be fair, not even that compares to the guy who just sent me this. Like, what am I meant to even do with this? I don't understand what's going on. And then I was getting pretty discouraged, until a friend recommended one of his employees. Not only did this guy know what he was doing, but he even agreed to work for a percentage of the profits instead of upfront payment. Finally, someone who understood I was broke, but still believed in the project. Now I'd like to introduce a new segment that I'd like to call Learn from My Mistakes. Before you publish a game, make sure to publish it under a group, because if you ever end up wanting to split the profits with anyone, well, you can't. Unless it's in a group, you can't do that. Now you might be asking, why can't you just move the game from personal to group later on? You can, but the only way to do that is by republishing, which means you lose all your statistics from before. Now, I had to start afresh. Speaking of statistics though, According to these YouTube statistics, none of you subscribed. Now sure, this makes sense because this is only my second ever long form video, but just, you know, subscribe. Okay, let's get back on track. Initially, I was going to just add rarities like every other game on Roblox. You know, common, rare, legendary. Here's the thing, I hate these rarity systems. You see, when you're making a game, you've got two main ways to keep players playing your game. Intrinsic motivation is when people keep playing your game because it's fun. Like, they actually want to do it. Extrinsic motivation is when they're only playing it because of the rewards. Like, oh cool, I got a shiny badge, or I need this legendary item because it's rarer. I'm always trying to add as little extrinsic motivation as possible. I don't want you to value a morph more because he's legendary. I want you to feel like he's fun to play as. But since I am planning on having lots of sahurs, I decided to use some kind of categorization. I figured I might as well do classes. Any sahur that you find, he's gonna be categorized in one of these classes. Fighters just have different ways of slapping people, because I've seen how popular those slapping obbies are getting. Helpers make the obby easier by slowing things down or just full-on disabling stuff, like disabling falling objects. Rainbows, for now, have just a minor speed buff and subparticles, but later on I'm planning a bit more to them. And then lastly, you have specials. They have unique abilities like being able to see invisible parts, or opening up doors that were previously closed. The goal was to make each class feel meaningfully different, not just cosmetically different. Finally, we have to make the sahurs actually findable and pick-upable. My colleague made this nice particle effect for a Tung Tung sahur that you can find, so that when you interact with it, you get a morph. And now, to add a bit more juice, we're gonna add some VFX, SFX, and even some nice UI. Luckily, I did a similar thing in my other game, Shroomshire. The only thing that I changed was that in Shroomshire, when you pick up an item, you get the item image. But here, I wanted to show the character. And then I figured I might as well reuse my NPC dancing tag. And so now, this is what we got. I then also added the dancing functionality in the inventory screen, and yes, I am recycling code. It's called being environmentally friendly. You're welcome, Earth. And with that, we're basically done. I advertised the game a bit to test out some things, fixed up some issues that I found and some other people on my Discord found, and that was it. The project was actually a lot of fun to work on, and adding any new sahurs is actually really easy. The hardest part is to actually design the sahur, but once that's done, I can easily add any special code for him specifically. So if you have any ideas on what Tung Tung sahurs I should add next, let me know in the comments below. And that's it. Well, this is where the outro was meant to go, but something weird happened. The game started getting more and more players. It got to the point where I was getting tens of thousands of people per day. At the time of recording, the game peaked at 340 concurrent players, and the game got 300,000 visits in less than a month. That's actually really crazy to me. I'm so happy that it's actually somehow succeeding, but the only thing I don't like is the fact that the more visits I get, the more dislikes I get. I mean, look at this dislike ratio, it's horrible. But after giving it a little bit more thought, I realized, considering I got hundreds of thousands of visits, it makes perfect sense that I got at least this many dislikes. If anything, I should have gotten more. No, I think the real issue is that I'm not incentivizing people to like the game. But I have no idea how to do that. What do you think? How do I fix this like ratio? Any thoughts would help a lot. But anyway. I still didn't earn nearly enough money to quit my job again and continue working on Shroomshire, but at least I learned a lot about making a game. And with that, I thank you all for watching. If you have a minute, please leave a like and comment literally anything. Even mean comments are welcome. It all helps a lot in the long run. And of course, if you like this video, please consider subscribing. Anyway, that's all the brain cells I had for this video. See ya!